Hi everybody, it's Friday, February 13th, and today is WVU Day at the Legislature, which is why I have my bow tie on here for the first time today. It's in honor of our beloved President Gordon Gee from WVU, who will be visiting us today on the Senate floor. And I'm actually going to back up a couple of days here to Wednesday, February 11th. Missed a couple of days on video updates, and I want to send out a special thank you to our two pages that we had on the floor on Wednesday, Sabrina Latis and Abigail Nickerson from the Northern Panhandle, and they did a phenomenal job. I enjoyed getting to meet them and talk to them. And Abigail's mom, Amy, actually is our Northern Regional Representative for the Attorney General. So I've actually known Amy for a little while now, but it was great to have her daughter serving and helping out with all the senators. And so Wednesday got kicked off at 7:30, as it always does with our Chairman's Caucus, and then throughout the rest of the morning had a number of meetings with folks interested in healthcare issues. One in particular was the Healthcare Authority. We have a bill that I've introduced this year to eliminate rate review for hospitals, and it was something I talked about prior to the start of session with the folks at Weirton Area Medical Center. It puts them at a competitive disadvantage with their competitors in Ohio and Pennsylvania, because those states do not have rate review. West Virginia is one of only two states in the country that have rate review, and it's sort of a government oversight of the rates that are negotiated between the hospitals and insurance companies. So I think any time that we can help our hospitals compete at a higher level with surrounding states, I think that's a good thing. The Healthcare Authority has some concerns about that, so I was just hearing their concerns, and I think we're still going to move forward with that piece of legislation. At 11 o'clock, we had our floor session. We had, looks like 5 bills on third reading. We had Senate Bill 60, which was a statewide food handlers card permit, Senate Bill 238, 242, House Bill 2138, and House Bill 2227. So nothing with a high level of debate. On second reading on Wednesday, we had Senate Bill 361, which is the prevailing wage bill, which of course was laid over, and I'll talk about as we get to Thursday's coverage. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we had the Economic Development Committee meeting. We had Senate Bill 273, which allowed for use of growlers and sales of craft beers. We have some brew pubs around our state that brew their own specific types of craft beers, and they have a container basically that transports those beers, referred to as a growler. And so that's something relatively new that they're trying to do, and in order to allow folks to come here and experience the products that we offer. That bill is an effort to do that. So then at 3 o'clock we had Judiciary Committee meeting. We had Senate Bill 421 relating to punitive damages, Senate Bill 274. We originated a bill relating to family court judges and certain family court circuits of state. We had concurrent resolution 10 and Senate Bill 222. The Senate Bill 421 relating punitive damages is a piece of tort reform that is an effort to bring us more in line with the other states in the country. We had no cap on those punitive damages, and we were seeing some pretty significant awards. In fact, 3 of the 7 largest awards in the United States have been in West Virginia, and it was a real deterrent to businesses coming into our state, and so something that we worked on again in order to make a more business-friendly environment here in West Virginia. On to Thursday, we started off again with our Chairman's Caucus in the morning. Then I met with some folks from West Virginians for Life because of the fact that the House of Delegates last week passed the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act. They're anticipating it coming over here to the Senate, and the possibility that it might be referred to the Health and Human Resources Committee, of which I'm the chairman. So they were expressing their thoughts and advice on that bill. At 11 o'clock we had our floor session, and on third reading we had a number of bills, but I'm just going to touch on Senate Bill 361, which I mentioned is the prevailing wage bill, which has probably been one of the most debated bills we've had this entire session and probably my entire time in the legislature. And as I mentioned, that bill had been laid over for several days because there were ongoing negotiations between union representatives, members of the Senate, both the Democrats and Republicans, as well as union and non-union contractors. And so there was concern raised by one senator during our morning session that he hadn't had enough time to review the most recent amendment being made to the bill. And so our Senate President actually laid the bill over until 5 o'clock in the evening on Thursday. And at that time, we did take the bill up. We did pass it. It was a bipartisan support on the bill. I believe the count was 23 in favor, 11 against. The major changes that occurred to the bill is that there's a $500,000 threshold in place so that projects under $500,000 will not apply to prevailing wage. They also moved the calculation of prevailing wage out of division labor into Workforce West Virginia, and then we're actually going to utilize our nonprofit research arms at WU Economics Department and Marshall Economics Department to calculate what they feel will be a fair prevailing wage. And so I think this was a tremendous compromise reached, and I commend both parties, the Democrats and Republicans, on working together and reaching this compromise. So I think that's it's a real win-win for everybody. We had a number of bills on second reading and had some meetings in the afternoon. We had our Health and Human Resources meeting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We had Senate Bill 286, which is another bill, particularly in the health area, that has had a lot of debate. It is the immunization requirements for students entering school here in West Virginia. And this is another bill that has been worked extensively by myself and others in order to find a fair compromise. We met numerous times in the past week with the Bureau for Public Health in order to find a compromise that everyone would be comfortable with, and we were able to do that yesterday. We passed that out. We're taking the authority for revoking or suspending medical exemptions out of the county health officer's hands and putting it in the hands of an immunization officer that will be appointed by our state health officer, who's also the commissioner for the Bureau for Public Health. So that's probably the one that I've worked on most extensively this year. I think we've reached a good compromise. I appreciate the support of everybody, both here in the Capitol and around the state. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we had Government Organization Committee. We had Senate Bills 234, 336, 384, and 404. And then we had Judiciary at 3 o'clock. We had Senate Bill 294, Senate Bill 377, House Bill 2004, and Senate Bill 277. And I'll touch quickly on House Bill 2004. The short title is Providing Procedure for the Development of a State Plan under Section 111D of the Clean Air Act. And this is basically an effort on our state's part to tell the EPA, the federal EPA, that we want more input on decisions that are being made, permitting process on both mainly the extraction industries in our state. And so, and then yesterday evening, I left the Capitol earlier than I have this entire session in order to attend a dinner with the youth and government students. We had 8th grade students from around the state here at the Capitol for the past couple of days, and they had their dinner last night. They're getting ready to head back today. And we had students from Ohio County and Marshall County down last night. And I want to thank them as well as the teachers who were with them for spending time here. I really enjoyed the conversation we had. They had tons of great questions, and it was a great evening, great way to wrap up the week. So look forward to talking to you all again on Monday, and have a great weekend. Thank you.